Every fall, it's a familiar ritual, isn't it? That annual flu shot. You roll up your sleeve, get the jab, and almost immediately you think, why isn't this just a one and done deal? One shot for life. It's a pretty common thought. So today, we're diving deep into exactly that. The big challenge, the ongoing quest for a universal lifetime flu vaccine. Sounds a bit sci-fi, maybe, but it's a real tough scientific problem researchers are tackling. Why the yearly shot? What would a perfect one look like? And, well, what's really coming down the pipeline for flu prevention? We're using a great piece to guide us today. It's from Dr. Anthony Komaroff over at the Harvard Health Letter, published via Harvard Health Publishing back on August 26, 2025. Really insightful stuff.
It really is. And what's fascinating here is, well, it's this fundamental battle, isn't it? Between our own ingenuity and a virus that just keeps changing its stripes. Dr. Komaroff's article lays out the complexity so clearly. This isn't just about mixing up a new medicine. It's about trying to outsmart one of nature's trickiest pathogens. And the stakes are just huge. Not just for us individually, but, for global health, the economy. It's a massive undertaking, like a high-stakes chess game, really.
Yeah, that phrase immense stakes really hits home. So for you listening, our mission today is to explore why we do this annual dance, what scientists dream of in a perfect vaccine, and what the future realistically holds for fighting the flu. It's kind of a journey into immunology, all stemming from that simple question we ask ourselves every year. Okay, so let's start with that annual routine, the yearly reminder, get your flu shot. We do it, maybe grumbling a bit, but still why? Why can't we just get one shot and be done with it for life? What's the core biology behind it?
It's a totally fair question. And Dr. Komaroff explains it's because the traditional vaccines we use, they target specific bits on the outside of the flu virus. Think of it like targeting a specific uniform. The problem is those targeted parts are constantly changing. The virus is incredibly good at, disguising itself. It keeps generating new strains year after year.
Oh, okay.
So the uniform changes by next season. Our immune system remembers the old uniform from last year's shot, but it's not as good at spotting the new one.
So we need an update, like updating an antivirus program for a new computer virus.
Exactly. We're trying to keep up with the virus's latest look.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just that the virus changes, but we have to predict how it will change way in advance. That sounds incredibly difficult.
Oh, it's a huge logistical challenge, a real tightrope walk.
Yeah.
The article points out that the standard vaccine tech takes at least 6 months to manufacture.
Months. Wow.
Yeah. So scientists have to effectively become fortune tellers. Every winter, they need to decide which strains will be circulating 8 to 10 months later.
8 to 10 months later. That's a long lead time.
It is. They use sophisticated models, global surveillance data, but still, sometimes, as the article says, the virus fools us.
Right.
A different strain pops up, or the one they banked on doesn't become dominant. That's when we hear about a mismatch. And the vaccine isn't quite as effective that year. It's amazing they get it right as often as they do, frankly.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But all this, the annual shots, the potential mismatches, it can sometimes lead people to think, oh, the flu, it's just a bad cold.
Right.
We all get coughs and sniffles. But Dr. Komaroff's article paints a much starker picture of how serious it can be. What are the actual risks?
Yeah, it's definitely more than just a bad cold. The numbers are quite sobering. Globally, the article states 300,000 to 500,000 people die from the flu each year.
500,000 people.
Roughly, yes. And most of them are unvaccinated. And if you look back historically, the worst flu pandemic, the 1918 Spanish flu, it killed 50 million to 100 million people.
Unbelievable.
Catastrophic numbers. It really drives home that the flu is a serious, serious threat, not something to just brush off.
Those figures are chilling.
Mm-hmm.
And they really highlight why even our current vaccines, the ones we call imperfect, are so incredibly valuable. Despite needing them every year, despite the occasional mismatch, Dr. Komaroff points out they saved 40,000 lives in the United States alone between 2004 and 2014. That's huge.
It is, and it gets to a key point from the article. Current vaccines don't guarantee you won't get the flu. Nobody promises that. But what they do is crucial. They lessen symptom severity and are quite good at preventing hospitalization and death.
Okay, so even if you catch it, it's less likely to land you in the hospital or worse.
Exactly. Your chances of a really bad outcome are significantly lower, which underlines Dr. Komaroff's main message here. Imperfect protection is much better than no protection. It's about managing the risk.
That's a really powerful message. Imperfect is still incredibly valuable. Okay, so we get the challenges. We appreciate the current tools. Let's shift gears and look ahead. What are scientists actually aiming for? If they could wave a magic wand, What would the blueprint for that perfect flu shot look like?
Right, the aspiration. Dr. Komaroff lays out three really ambitious goals. First, and this is the big one, protection against all strains. Instead of chasing those ever-changing outer parts, the idea is to target the conserved parts of the virus, the bits that, well, don't change much or at all between strains.
The core structure, maybe?
Something like that, yes. Parts essential for the virus to function. If you can train the immune system to attack those, then theoretically, as the article puts it, a vaccine could protect against all strains, past and future.
Wow, that would end the annual guessing game entirely.
It would be revolutionary. Okay, second goal.
Yeah.
Prevention of all symptoms. Our current shots reduce severity, right? But you might still feel pretty lousy. A perfect vaccine would stop you from feeling sick at all. And part of this ties back to manufacturing speed. Think about the extremely successful mRNA vaccines developed for COVID-19.
Much faster to produce, right?
Exactly. They don't need eggs. They can be made synthetically much quicker. If we could apply that speed to flea vaccines, scientists could wait longer, get a better read on the actual circulating strains closer to the season.
And make a much better match, potentially stopping illness altogether.
That's the idea. Better matching equals better prevention of symptoms. And the third goal, maybe the most exciting for many people, lifetime protection. Imagine getting one shot, maybe a booster or two, like with other vaccines, and being set for decades, maybe life.
The one and done dream.
Pretty much. The article mentions cutting-edge work on a special kind of mRNA vaccine. The goal is to train the body not just to react, but to keep attacking the virus for a long time, if not a lifetime, building really durable, long-lasting immunity.
So what does this all mean? Lifetime protection, no symptoms, works against all strains. It sounds incredible. But these aren't just pipe dreams. Scientists are actually working on these things.
Oh, absolutely. These are active areas of intense research. It's fundamentally changing how we think about tackling the flu, which naturally brings up the question of investment.
Right. Does the funding match the ambition?
Well, Dr. Komaroff has a clear take. He acknowledges that COVID definitely boosted investment and focus on vaccines, which is good. But he argues the investment still is not great enough given the potential return. Basically, we're underinvesting relative to the potential payoff.
And the article gives a stunning example of that payoff with the COVID vaccines, doesn't it?
It really does. It states that in the U.S. alone, by early 2023, the COVID vaccines had prevented something like 19 million hospitalizations and over 3 million deaths.
3 million deaths prevented. That's incredible.
And get this, it saved the U.S. economy $1.2 trillion. Trillion with a T, and the kicker. The cost to develop those vaccines was, quote, only a small fraction of that.
That return on investment is just astronomical. Lives saved, unbelievable economic benefit.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, that $1.2 trillion figure is a powerful case study. Investing heavily in vaccine R&D isn't just about health, it's incredibly sound economic policy. Preventing widespread illness saves healthcare costs, keeps people working, stabilizes the economy. The dividends are enormous. It really argues for upping the ante on funding this kind of research, especially for a constant threat like the flu.
Okay, so we've talked about the dream of the perfect vaccine and the economic sense it makes, but let's circle back to that original question. Realistically, are we actually going to get that one-and-done shot anytime soon? What does Dr. Komaroff think?
He gives a very realistic, sort of measured view. He says, quite directly, will we ever see a perfect flu vaccine? Probably not in my lifetime or yours.
Okay. A bit deflating, maybe.
Well, maybe initially, but it's an honest assessment of just how tricky this virus is. But he immediately follows up with the crucial optimistic part. But we almost surely will see improved, less imperfect vaccines.
Less imperfect. I like that phrasing.
Me too. It means progress, continuous improvement. Even if absolute perfection is elusive, better is achievable and incredibly valuable. The research isn't pointless. It yields real, tangible benefits along the way.
That's such an important point. It's not all or nothing. It circles back to that core message. Imperfect protection is very much better than no protection. We're not just waiting for some future miracle cure. Scientists are delivering better tools steadily, making a difference right now. It's really impressive dedication.
Absolutely. And this raises an important question, doesn't it, about balancing that quest for perfection with celebrating and utilizing the very real gains we make through these incremental improvements. In public health, every step forward, every less imperfect vaccine saves lives, reduces suffering. It's this constant dance between innovation and adaptation. And our understanding, our willingness to use these tools, like getting vaccinated, is part of that progress.
What a fascinating deep dive. We've really unpacked a lot. The flu virus is relentless, shape-shifting, the clever ways scientists are trying to corner it, the huge value of the shots we already have. And we've gotten a glimpse of a future with potentially much broader, longer-lasting protection, thanks to these less imperfect vaccines on the horizon.
Indeed. It really showcases science as this ongoing marathon, especially public health science. The finish line might keep moving, but every mile marker passed is a victory. And maybe a final thought to leave people with. Thinking about that $1.2 trillion return on COVID vaccines, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other major public health challenges could see similar massive benefits in lives and economics if we committed to developing even less imperfect, incremental solutions? Food for thought.
Definitely food for thought. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope it's given you a new perspective on that annual shot and the amazing science working to protect us all. Until next time, stay curious.